To the very first episode of You Chirpin Now Mate, presented by On The Deck. On today's episode, we take a quick look at the return of cricket with the VFL. We discuss shadow batting, are you a Steve Smith or a Nathan Lyon? And we rate the best T20 franchise. So, cricket's coming back tomorrow. We're starting up again with the VFL, the T10 tournament that's going to last for 10 days. 3 games a day. Boys, how are we feeling?
Buzzing.
Buzzing from George. Al?
Cricket day in, day out.
It's just something to do, isn't it? I mean, I don't know. I know 2 of the players. That's about it. But who cares? I'll know them all inside out by the end, probably.
Do you need to know any more than 2 players to enjoy cricket? Probably not. Anything you're looking to see from the tournament?
If it's anything like the Caribbean Premier League, then it should just be fun Caribbean-style cricket, really, which is, I think, what all cricket fans want to see. It's just better than having nothing on TV, isn't it? I mean, there's only so many times you can rewatch the World Cup finals, and Ben Stokes at Henley, as good as it was. I'm ready for something new, personally.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm ready for some Caribbean cricket. I'm looking forward to seeing the new Andre Russell as well. There must be one in there.
I feel like they all will probably want to play like Andre Russell.
Literally, the world needs another Andre Russell. Not another Chris Gayle as much.
Yeah, I know. Chris Gayle can do one, but
yeah, and I'm just some, like, with the Caribbean lot, just some great catches, athletic fielding, and they don't know how to block or defend, so we're definitely going to see plenty of sixes.
Absolute fireworks.
Well, do you think there's going to be much time for defending? It's only 10 overs each, or are you really going to have to just get in and you've got to go for it?
Well, I feel like, yeah, exactly, that's the whole sort of point. And that nobody really cares about defending or batting for any long amount of time. So if you say it's like the Abu Dhabi, they do the T10, don't they? And it's just mental. Just
it becomes, for the fast bowlers, short ball, full ball. There's no in between.
Yeah, exactly.
Any in between goes.
Yeah.
And it's exhibition cricket, and hopefully that's what they do.
I reckon it's going to be tiny boundaries and absolute roads as well.
Yeah. Hopefully the sea's one of the boundaries.
If you're going at any less than, like 11 and over as bowler, then you're doing something right, to be honest. It just sounds ridiculous, really, doesn't it? But
I mean, I don't know the stats. Was it the UAE or Dubai?
Yeah.
I don't know the actual scores. I know a few was in like the 80s and 90s, but I don't remember any being like 120.
Have a quick look now. So, I mean, that says it all. So, in the Abu Dhabi season this year, there was 449 fours, but 426 sixes. So,
we're in for a treat. We are in for a treat.
We are. It's literally, as we said, exhibition cricket. I don't know where we can actually watch it, but as soon as we find out, we'll get it all up and stuff, and we'll definitely be watching that, as well as some. I've been backtracking through the old records of the old cricket, and I'm setting a day at one point to watch the whole of 2005 Ashes in a day.
I need to find that box there, actually.
Oh, you don't? It's on YouTube now.
Oh, is it? Oh,
it's an 8-hour video.
Oh, amazing.
Settle in with your breakfast and finish off with your tea.
So, weekly segment we're going to have on this cricket podcast is the trivia round, where Al will take on Brady by asking each other questions. They'll get 2 questions to ask the other person, and if there's a tiebreaker at the end, I will provide the tiebreaker question at the end of the episode. Brady, you're the away team today. Heads or tails?
Heads for me, please.
Heads. It's tails. Al, would you like to ask first or receive first?
I'll ask first, please.
Good stuff. Take it away, boys.
Okay. Question number 1. How many hat-tricks have there been in the history of the IPL? 19, 20 or 21?
Oof. 19, I'm going to go.
That is correct.
Oh,
It is 19. By 17 different players. And question number 2 is, who is it the most BBL sixes? Chris Lynn, Aaron Finch or Glenn Maxwell?
100% know this. It's Chris Lynn.
Yeah, by a long distance.
Yeah. Has he done how many?
142, and Finch is second with 86.
Ooh.
Jesus Christ.
And like, I think Chris Lynn's played like 5 more innings maybe or something than him. Like,
yeah, it's
similar
not
amount
much,
of ball space and everything. Yeah, it's mad. I had no idea.
Doesn't he have the record for the most sixes in an innings as well?
I think so. Like, I knew he whacked it, but not that much in comparison to the others.
I knew he was the first to ton up on sixes. I knew that. But I mean, that's the sort of one. That's the sort of start I'd go against the IPL to use anywhere near him. I know they play on pitches that are tiny out there, but
It'll be surely Chris Gale, won't it?
Oh yeah, well yeah.
But I want to say, yeah, but he'll have played more games, so won't he?
True. Because he's got 22 T20
Oh, no way. Chris Gale, 326 sixes in the IPL.
That's ridiculous.
Chris Lynn would be 13th on the list if his number of BBL sixes was transferred to the IPL. But obviously they've all played more games and stuff.
And you play more games in the IPL.
Yeah, exactly.
For a start, you play in smaller grounds.
Chris Gale, though, has played way less games than anyone else in the top 10.
Really?
Except for David Warner. Yeah. Incredible. Right, so you got 2.
Brady,
so now you need
ask
to
your
ask
question.
me.
Yeah. So, first question is, who is the Australian with the most amount of IPL wickets? Is it Mitchell Johnson, Shane Watson or James Bond?
I'm going to go Shane Watson.
It is Shane Watson, yeah.
Good.
With, I think it was
At their ages, aren't
85. I'll double check again. With 92, sorry.
92. Yeah, he's been there. So he's always there.
Yeah. Second question is, most runs in a BBL series, who was this? Scored 705 runs in one year. Was it Darcy Shaw, Sean Marsh or Marcus Stoinis?
It was Stoinis this year just gone, wasn't it?
It was, yes.
Yeah.
It was 705 runs.
Shit, that one for 7, which helps. Right, we're going to Super Over.
You're going to go to a Super Over, but the Super Over is going to come at the end of the podcast. Stay tuned to hear it all. Today's topic on the podcast is franchises. We're going to look at ranking the top 4 franchises in our eyes. We're going to take on the IPL, the BBL, the Blast, and the CPL. We have split them up into 6 categories, which Al and Brady are going to discuss. So first of all, boys, first category, overseas players.
I think, personally, I think it's close, to be fair, between the IPL and the BBL, because I think those 2 stand out. But I think the IPL probably just edges it based on the fact that maybe because it's been around longer and it's seen as the most lucrative leagues playing money-wise, I think it does just attract all the top players year after year. Like, if you secure an IPL contract, like that's like what your aim is to be in like T20 cricket. So I feel like based on that, everyone wants to be going to the IPL, and that's why they get the best players.
I agree with that. I agree with if you become an overseas player in the IPL, that's kind of it. You've nailed it.
It's like the Holy Grail.
It's like as big as the Champions League in football, pretty much. That's your money contract. That's the big dollar. You're playing in the big tournament. It's got more games, and they do get the big players to play in it. At the start of the IPL, it was all worn, and
exactly.
There wasn't T20 cricket.
Even like Gilchrist and that, like going back years, like before franchise cricket really took off, like the IPL were at the front of like promoting T20 cricket and basically changed how franchises work nowadays. So.
Absolutely. The BBL, I mean, they've done well over the last couple of years, definitely. I know they got the West Indian guys over there early doors with Gale and Andre Russell.
Yeah, and like De Villiers and that's done a bit over there. McCullum, obviously, too. Like a lot of the New Zealanders play over there. I feel like as well, every other league struggles in this category because of the lack of Indian players that they get. Because BCCI are funny about letting Indians play outside of India because they obviously want them to focus on the Indian national team and whatever. And they also want to, like, that's almost the USP of the IPL is having players like Kohli and Bumrah and that, which you can only watch them play T20 cricket in the IPL. Like, it's hard to come by, whereas they can't play throughout the year for several franchise teams, as you see a lot of players doing now.
Yeah, I know. Suresh Raina came out last week, I'm going to say, basically saying he wants to play in the Big Bash, but obviously he's not allowed. But he wants the ban to be lifted because it doesn't look like he'll play for India again.
Exactly.
So it's kind of hindering his end of his career, he has said, behind that way. And he wants more Indians to play abroad.
Yeah, exactly. And because I'm pretty sure Harbhajan Singh was another one who that happened with. And it's like, well, these players have sort of done their bit for India now, and it doesn't seem like anytime soon that they're going to be getting back into the team because there's, well, Jadeja and Ashwin for a start. So, and obviously they're getting older in the career. Like Harbhajan and Raina are both mid to late 30s now, so I sort of don't really blame them for wanting to go around a few of the different leagues and pick up a bit of cash.
Yeah, that's what it is, isn't it?
Yeah, more or less.
I think if we're going down to the CPL and the Caribbean Premier League and the Blast, they're very similar. I'd probably put the Blast above Caribbean Premier League. I don't know about yourself, Al.
I think it's tough one. What I like about the Blast and the CPL is because they can't attract the biggest names, you get to see some of like maybe the younger players that are going to come through. Like I know Yorkshire had Pooran, didn't they?
Yeah,
last year. Yeah. And then he obviously played in the CPL, not as overseas, obviously, but then it gives a chance for players like that to sort of come through a bit more. But then the flip side is because he can't attract the big players, you also get just like your standard T20 franchise players, like Dan Christian's always there signing for someone, and it gets a bit repetitive. And like he's a class player and he does really well, but he's not exciting to watch anymore. Like Lancashire have re-signed James Faulkner for about the 5th season in a row now, and he's basically, he may as well just live in Manchester now. Like, it's not really an overseas player. So.
Yeah, I get there is the odd ones. I think with the CPL they have some of our domestic players go over there. Like they've had Phil Salt, didn't they?
Phil Salt, yeah.
And he wasn't a massive one over here, and I think that shows you it's just below probably the Blast of overseas.
Yeah. But I also think that's changed a lot as well. How we talked about Indian players not really playing many franchises, but for a while, like English players didn't really play in franchise cricket either. Whereas that's obviously changing now with people like Phil Salt and Tom Banton,
Hales,
Roy, all that lot.
Roy, yeah.
It always like Dimitri Mascarenhas used to be like the biggest name coming out of England, and same with the Currans as well. They do a lot of
Chris Jordan's gone around a bit as well.
Yeah, that's true.
Since he's been in and out of England, he's gone around more. But I think if we're going down to ranking, I'd 100% go IPL at the top.
And BBL.
Yeah. Then I would go Blast and CPL. I don't know about you.
Yeah, no, I think that is fair enough because there is also the occasions where the Blast, like Aaron Finch, has done some in the Blast and that, and they're like huge names in T20 cricket, which I feel like you don't get the same level of in the CPL. So
yeah,
I'd agree with that ranking.
Let's move on over to homegrown players, please.
So personally, I think the best homegrown players, and I think it's shown over the last 3-4 years, is the BBL. Just because if you look at Australian cricket now, they could probably put 2 11s out against England and probably beat us in pretty much all formats.
I don't know though, because like in Tests, definitely, obviously England current World Cup winners, and I'd still fancy us in T20s against sort of anyone really. But like it's also though because you got to think like in the Blast, it's great because England have Bairstow, Roy, Butler, everyone, but they don't actually play that many Blast games. Like I think Butler does the Roses game for Lancashire, and that's about it really. So I don't know if you can really count. Like if we talk about the regular homegrown players that play in the Blast, then they're nowhere near the level of BBL. Who obviously you get Maxwell, Boyness, Finch, Chris Lynn, and everyone like that who are good enough to play for the Australian first team as well. So.
Yeah, I don't know whether towards the IPL they've obviously brought a lot of good players through homegrown, and there's like a rule or something. They have to play so many. I can't remember how many it is now. There were like 4 overseas, is it?
I think so, yeah.
They brought that in. Yeah, they brought that in very early to make sure there was a lot homegrown, and I do agree with that. But I just don't think to the standard of how quickly the BBL has rose and the standard of all their players when they first started it into now, I think is just a
yeah. Like I feel like obviously with the exception of players like Coley and the players in the IPL that come through, some of them have like a good season and that's sort of it, that you don't really see them again. And I also feel like a lot of the Indian players are maybe carried by their overseas signings, whereas in the BBL it feels like there's more of a team sort of plan, whereas the IPL is all about the big names, and that's all really anyone watches for. Whereas the BBL, you'll see a lot of players coming through, and that puts themselves on the market for maybe even an IPL contract themselves. So.
You probably nailed it with that, actually.
So we'll take BBL first in the rankings.
Yeah, then you're probably going to have to go IPL then, aren't you?
Yeah, you can't have people like Coley playing and say that they've not got some of the top homegrown players. So.
No.
CPL's a funny one because
they've done well out of it.
Like, yeah, and obviously, like, the Windies cricketers are massive on T20, and like Dre Russ, Chris Gale are like some of the most iconic names, and they've won the most recent World T20 as well. So, like that, it sort of feels wrong, like rank them down. But I also feel like if you put the West Indies T20 team out, I don't think they'd beat England, Australia, or India at the moment. Like, I just couldn't see that happening.
Yeah. They're hit and miss, aren't they? They're made for T20. That's the only thing. They absolutely love it because it's quick. It's Caribbean style.
And I feel like it might be harsh to say, but I feel like there's players like Chris Gale and Dre Russ and that actually prefer playing for the franchise teams in the IPL and that than they actually do for the West Indies national team. Whether it's because of more money or whatever, I don't know. But I feel like they seem to perform better at franchise level than they do internationally.
Yeah. So go on then. What would you think then? We've gone 1 BBL, 2 IPL. Hit me with 3 or 4. What do you reckon?
It's tough, isn't it?
I'm trying to think of the homegrown players we've got. I'm thinking of who's come through. So there wasn't already an international before they started. You know, like Coley was. Oh well, no, Coley did come actually through, but and who the Blasters picked up. I know the CPL, have they made many superstars? I'd probably say I've learnt a lot more from CPL than I have from the Blast.
True, but then you look at players like Tom Banton and that, and he had a good season in the Blast, and then he went straight into the BBL, started playing England. Matt Parkinson as well as another one. So I suppose obviously it's easier for us because we probably keep up with the Blast more. But I can think of a few players that really have come through because of the Blast and not much else really. Like if it weren't for the Blast, like Matt Parkey wouldn't have been in the England squad. He was even in the Red Bull squad despite hardly playing Red Bull cricket in Lancashire. It was more because of his success in the Blast.
I think that's a good point actually, because when we look back at maybe Keyswetter and Lum, they did the same thing. They wouldn't have probably played for England.
Yeah.
Other than T20 cricket coming in, and then they got themselves.
J-Roy as well. Like I know, obviously he didn't do very well in the Test team, but he got that opportunity because of white ball cricket, which came through stuff like the Blast. And I suppose Hales is the same as well.
Yeah, Hales, because he's gone all over with it.
Yeah. So. Yeah. So Blast can go third.
Blast third, CPL fourth. Good stuff. Next two categories closely linked, but we decided to keep them separate. So first of all, stadiums.
I think for actual size, there's none of them are near the BBL.
Yeah, I agree. Based on overall, like every BBL stadium is like incredible, and they're modernised and they're like proper super stadiums, aren't they? Like. Talks about the MCG and stuff like that, some of the biggest in the world. Obviously, India, like I know Eden Gardens and that is huge, but I feel like the stadiums are made better by the fans, which is obviously what we'll discuss in atmosphere. Yeah. And then, but as well, like stadiums like Lords and that, obviously, impressive in a different way based on the history associated with them and that. But Lords holds like 25,000, whereas the MCG is like 90,000. So.
Well, I think more on the T20 stuff in England is the stadiums that have come to life off it are obviously the Oval has been a big one for it. I mean, Edgbaston, because it holds it now, doesn't it? It holds the finals, Trent Bridge. I think they've really picked up, especially Edgbaston.
Edgbaston's a big one, because obviously most finals there for you. Trent Bridge is like the M6, so I feel like that's why it's quite popular. So,
and then obviously, there's Old Trafford have rejigged their stadium and they've made it a lot better. And that's due down to stuff like this. I know Test cricket goes a long way toward it as well. CPL, I've seen a few. Obviously, I've seen the old hot tub at the side of the pitches, or
exactly that stuff like that. I love. But I feel like that comes under atmosphere as well.
Which is fantastic. But I think they're definitely fourth. I'd say on that one.
100%. Like the grounds are cool and they're great and by the beach and whatever, which I think is class. But if we're talking about like stadiums, then nowhere near.
Yeah, we're talking the actual structure and everything. Right?
No, you wouldn't. Well, you wouldn't expect to see like Real Madrid playing at Sabina Park, would you? Whereas they could play at somewhere like the MC.
Could you imagine?
So let's lock in those rankings. We've got BBL first, CPL fourth, in the middle.
I think we're going to have to go again.
It's got to be IPL.
It's got to be IPL, yeah.
Like
and then
Wanky and stuff like that as well. And then Blast third.
Good stuff. So as we said, closely linked. It was kind of alluded to just in that section. Please rank the franchise on atmosphere.
Well, I'm initially going to say atmosphere-wise, from just watching it on TV and just putting a smile on my face, has to be the CPL.
It's tough, isn't it? Because CPL is the atmosphere I'd rather be like. Yes. I'd rather go to a game for that atmosphere, but I feel like you'd annoy a lot of Indians if they were top night.
Yeah, I'm saying I'm being a bit. I get a debate as well. Because obviously the atmosphere in the IPL is
it depends what your perception of it is, isn't it? Like,
I
don't think you can't knock the Indian fans.
No, and to get a ticket is like gold dust.
Yeah, like it's capacity every game, innit? In the IPL.
Yeah.
Like, and they play a lot of games.
Yeah, and when the players say between the wickets and running, they have to show signals because they can't hear each other. You know, there's something special out there. So, maybe I was wrong. Maybe it was probably.
I understand where you're coming from with that though, because I'd rather go to the Caribbean and watch CPL because just
carnival cricket, innit?
Yeah, exactly. Whereas the IPL is just so intense, like it's on another level of like cricket. Like you'll never watch a game of cricket anywhere else in the world like you'll find in India, like because the fans are just, it's like, you know, people have said it's like a religion over there, isn't it?
Yeah, I think actually when you're saying that, you're probably right. Where the atmosphere makes it a bit different. So I'd probably say in the Caribbean, it's a party atmosphere, and they play a bit like a party atmosphere.
Yeah.
Whereas it's all pressure in the IPL.
Oh, it's all about winning, yeah.
And exactly. You can feel every game pretty much goes down to the last over tries to. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You can feel the pressure.
Yeah, like
it's like a World Cup
stage in the world, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like, every game's like a final. Like it's that sort of atmosphere every game, isn't it? Like, yeah, because it's like winning's like a matter of life and death. Like it's just
absolutely
losing's just not even thinkable. So,
I mean, personally, I'll go IPL first, CPL, BBL, and then Blast. No, we haven't really spoken about them, but BBL.
I think the
pretty good.
Yeah, go on. BBL's good, but like what we just said last one, it sort of is an issue that because the stadiums are so big as well. Like, you know, if you're at like the MCG or whatever, and it's like 80,000-90,000 capacity. Even if you've got 30,000 fans there, which is a good crowd and a lot more than you get in the Blast, it's still not even half full. So it struggles to generate that sort of atmosphere, which I think is where it maybe falls down.
I think they've nailed the. I know they changed it this year, but before that, I thought they nailed the Boxing Day, the New Year's Eve, and New Year's Day.
Yeah. That's class.
They've got something we haven't got over here. Having 3 bank holidays or kind of bank holidays. We need to do ours on May Day, obviously. Pissing rain.
And then the Blast. The Blast comes a comfortable 4th, doesn't
it? Yeah, very comfortable 4th. If there was a 5th position, it'd probably be 5th.
Like the Roses game, that the atmosphere is brilliant, but there's 2 of them a year.
Yeah, I was going to say actually, is there any? I know there's little derbies, but that is the big derby.
And then it's like Middlesex and Surrey as well as like the southern version of it. Innit?
But it's not
like everything southern. It's just a bit southern, yeah.
It's a bit soft.
So we're locking in. We're locking in the IPL first, CPL second, BBL third, and the Blast in 4th/5th. If there was a 5th.
If there was, yeah.
Next category. I'm very interested in this one. Characters.
So I think this section was mostly picked for like characters in obviously that franchise at the time, and probably things that have been done, and you know,
iconic players.
Go on, Al. You start it off then.
Well, I think like in your main 2, which I feel like we've established in the BBL and the IPL by now. Like obviously Kohli is a character. Like even if he's not batting, and like MS Dhoni as well. Like even if he's batting, got out first ball and he's in the dugout, there still seems to be something going on with him. Like I remember when Dhoni like marched on the field last IPL and stuff, and it's just like those sort of moments only seem to come with players that have that sort of ego about them, I suppose, and because they're literally like god status in the respective country, stuff like that. And like KP's another example. I know he did a lot of BBL stuff, and like when the mic plays up and that, it's always KP who you want to hear on the mic and stuff. And it's those big characters, Dre Rust, Chris Gale. Like, you never know what you're going to get with them. Like, because even regardless of how they perform in the game, there'll always be something else happening with them as well. Right.
Yeah, I think you've done quite well on that. I've forgotten about a few of the Indian characters, but also the little things of like the Jadeja sword.
Yeah, exactly, stuff like that. Marlon Samuel's salute and stuff as well.
Yeah. And who's the
Sheldon
left armer?
Cottrell's? Yeah, Sheldon Cottrell. Yeah.
But that came also my favourite moment. I think in any of these is when is it Walton signs his bat off? Yeah. Signs his bat off after the lads taking a few poles out, and he's next to bat, and he hits a few 4s and 6s and signs his bat every time, and then he starts turning over the page. That's fantastic. That's Caribbean cricket down to
exactly.
They don't back down from anything.
No.
They're full of ego, full of character.
On the chest. Sort of
yeah. When you was on about BBL, I'm trying to think of other ones with. Yeah, actually, I totally forgot about the mic. So we've got Freddie.
Exactly. That's class. Yeah, Freddie when he commentated on his own bloody batting.
And then singing.
I was just thinking as well, who were it that this is in the IPL, but Shane Warne, like he had a scrap with someone, didn't he?
Marlon, when he throws the ball against Marlon.
Yeah, was that how it went? It was Marlon.
That was in the BBL, yeah. That's in the BBL.
Oh, was it BBL?
Yeah.
Yeah, of course it will have been, wasn't it?
And then there's another one as well where Aaron Finch is going at Glenn Maxwell, and I think
exactly.
Caught him on the mic.
Yeah.
But I think for actual characters, I think this could be probably our closest category. Actually. I'd probably say the Blast is 4.
Yeah, again, because
I just think the TV coverage and everything around it isn't.
It's safe, isn't it? It's very media trained, like sort of.
Yeah.
You do an interview, give us these answers, sort of thing. Whereas the other leagues are a bit more. I don't know.
The only other thing I would say on the side of characters is maybe commentators.
Yeah, true. Because like Bumble and that is just.
Yeah, so Bumble comes to he does the final, doesn't he?
Yeah.
He doesn't do much of the rest. But him on the final is fantastic. And actually, finals day is probably the best out of lot of them because it has a full day.
Race is class.
I don't think we've ever won it. I don't think Yorkshire's ever won it.
I don't think ours has.
Yeah, I'm sure yours has because
I think you might have won it a couple of years ago.
Yeah, but yeah, I know we've quickly gone off topic, but yeah, who's the Kiwi that is a commentator? Is fantastic.
Ian Smith.
Yeah, there's Ian Smith and there's the other guy, Danny Morrison.
Yeah.
He's fantastic. Him on the IPL is fantastic. But if we're going down commentators, I think the BBL are brilliant. They get really good cricketers in it, and they look like they're having a good time. Yeah,
exactly. It's like Ponting and that as well when they come in. There's something about Aussies as well. Like they just seem to be funnier.
Yeah, they do. But they're not media trained at all, are they?
Well, no, we still need to be. They don't care.
No.
Right, so what are we going?
In those rankings,
BBL
last in 4th, other 3 spots up for debate.
CPL probably 3rd. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Yeah.
And then it's toss up. I'll leave it up to you, Brady, to decide one. So.
I think I'm going to go the BBL. If we go, just because of we've talked about the commentators and the players all together.
I'd rather go to a pub with people from BBL. So based on that.
So we move into the final category. It's close at the top and it's close at the bottom. I feel like it's obvious which way the two franchises split, but the last category is sixes.
Yeah, I think this just runs on basically, as it says, just who can cart the ball the most out of the ground. If we'll start from the bottom this time. Actually, I think we can categorically say the Blast.
Yeah, sure.
I think this could be. I don't know, but I think this also could be down to pitches over here.
Yeah, I was going to say.
And weather.
Weather's a big one.
Because the pitches in the BBL are immaculate.
They are, but much bigger boundaries too. So
Yeah, but when the ball comes on like that, I just think it just
Yeah,
flies
true.
off, doesn't it?
yeah, especially.
Again, the IPL pitches are immaculate and turn.
And they get tiny boundaries.
Yeah, but they turn. They have some that they don't all turn. They have quite a few that seam sometimes, and that's when I think that's when you see the lowest scores is when it seems a bit.
Yeah, because they can actually play spin in India. So.
Yeah, they can. So I would 100% say I think down to pitches and some ability, which hopefully will change after the 100 starts.
I think the 100 will be different, but that's another day.
Yeah, so that's 4, the Blast. Now the next 3 could be very close because the CPL is only known for 6s.
I'd be tempted to put the BBL in 3rd. Just based on the fact that if you have a one-off sort of game, I'd back the lads who play in the CPL to hit more 6s than the lads who play in the BBL.
Yeah.
I reckon they could hit them further as well.
Yeah, they can.
They're going miles. But also because it does come on well in the BBL, like we said, but some of those boundaries are massive, man.
Yeah, I think there's like a few that are, 60, 70 metres?
Yeah, but then after that, you're talking
90. Unlike the other grounds, actually, when we were talking about stadiums, in the BBL, because I think they have the Aussie rules as well, part of the stadium.
Exactly.
Some of them are a bit odd shaped, so sometimes it's the sides.
Sometimes you get a short boundary, don't you?
Whereas in the IPL, they're probably the most rounded stadium.
They only play cricket over there, don't they? So
yeah.
You only need to build a cricket pitch.
So I definitely So if we go 4 for the Blast, 3 for the BBL, and we're left for the last 2. I'd love to say it's Caribbean, but I don't think
it is. Like, I think of people like Dhoni and that as well in the IPL. Like,
just down to things of, as we talked about, pitches and everything, but just even the calibre of the bowler.
Yeah.
When you're ramping Marnie Morkel or something on your head.
Yeah, exactly. So, I mean,
it's so much different. And I think as well, IPL is probably the one where a number 9 in pretty much every side could probably cleanly hit 6.
You almost have to be able to bat a bit if you're batting 8 and 9 now. And at a good strike rate.
I can't think of it. The brothers, Pandya brothers.
Yeah, exactly.
Crunell bats like 8 or 7 and still whacks it.
Yeah, literally. And Hardik he's just levers, isn't he? You can reach it. It just doesn't matter.
So we'll lock in for those rankings. The Blast in 4th, BBL in 3rd, CPL in 2nd, IPL 1st.
Yeah.
And that gives us a final result so we did the rankings based on if you finish 1st in the category, 4 points, 3 points for 2nd, 2 points for 3rd, and 1 point for 4th. So we've got to our final rankings. In 4th place, we have the Blast, who scored 9 points. In 3rd place, we have the CPL, who scored 11 points. In 2nd place, 2 points behind the winner, with 19 points, is the BBL, which pulls out the IPL as our top-ranked franchise.
I think that's probably fair enough.
Yeah, I think we can all agree with that, and most of the public would as well.
Yeah. And I really like the BBL, to be honest, but I just think based on the way that we rank them, the IPL does just edge him, doesn't it?
Yeah, yeah, absolutely.
Good stuff. So earlier in the episode, we saw the trivia end 2-2. I do present the tiebreaker question. Question is, in the 2019-2020 BBL season, how many 100s were scored?
I'm going to say... No, there's definitely 2. 5, I'm going to go with.
5 from
Brady. I'm going to go with 3.
And Al's going to go with 3. Al, unlucky, because there were 3 different players. However, there were 4 100s scored. As Darcy Short scored 2, Marcus Stoinis and Aaron Finch.
Stoinis.
So no
I
one
knew
wins
Darcy
this
Short
week. Unlucky boys.
It's
all
not
we've got
neither of
time
us
for.
win. Really.
Typical cricket finishing with a draw, eh?
Just a draw.
No, I won on boundary count, I think.
Give up.
That's all we got time
Run
for
rate.
this week. Join us next week when we'll diverge a new topic.